Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for telling my family that if they gift us money for our wedding, there will be no strings attached or we will politely decline it. AITA for telling my wife it's her job to babysit the kids and leaving the house. WIPTA for revealing where my kids' college money came from. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for telling my family that if they gift us money for our wedding, there will be no strings attached or we will politely decline it. I hate wedding culture. It's bullshit. My fiancé and I thought we would escape the bullshit and money by having a small thing. Well, family started trying to throw money at us to make it bigger and more spectacular. We were surprised, but it was a good surprise. Then the demands started coming out. They wanted this, they wanted that, they wanted this person to come, these colors, dresses can't do this person has to be flower girl, this person has to be a groomsman, etc., etc. Suddenly it didn't feel like our wedding, but an excuse for our families to have a family reunion. We put our foot down and said, "Thank you all for your kindness and generosity when it comes to our wedding. Unfortunately, it looks like we may not have been on the same page as the rest of you. When we were offered money for this wedding, we did not realize it came with strings attached. With so many requests and so many demands from people we didn't expect would think they had a say in our wedding, we have decided to give everyone their money back. Our understanding of what a gift is must be very different. If you would like to give us money without strings attached or requests or demands, we will gracefully accept it. But if you believe a gift should come with stipulations, we must regretfully and politely decline." This has caused an epic shitstorm. Such to the point where I have people saying they will never come to our wedding. Honestly, not the worst thing in the world, that we are spoiled, we're assholes, etc., etc., etc. My parents are rather upset about it, but hers, who never made any demands and gave us a small cash gift, said we did the right thing. We are halfway to canceling the whole party and just absconding into the wilderness to do the wedding the way we want. AITA? Are we? NTA. That we are spoiled. We're spoiled because you can't get what you want at our wedding? I'm laughing imagining the mental gymnastics it must take to call OP and they're so spoiled. They gave back the money, how is that spoiled? NTA. That's how gifts work. I vote ditch the whole ceremony and do a small destination wedding, just the two-ish of you. My spouse and I eloped. Best decision we could have made. Almost 20 years later, and no regrets. My favorite part of the whole post? The constant use of we. You and your bride. We are choosing this. We have responded thus. You are on the path to a wonderful partnership, off to the wilderness with you and have a wonderful life together. Obviously NTA. Can't upvote this enough. So nice to see that a couple is on the same page. They're off to a wonderful start. OP is definitely NTA. NTA. That money was not a gift. NTA, a gift is a gift. Our understanding of what a gift is must be very different. I think the only part of this message that rubbed me wrong, and I'm not even involved, was this part. It wasn't necessary. People would still get angry, but I think that one line made it extra worse. You're NTA for what it's worth. Just my 2 cents about it. Weddings and funerals are when you learn who your true fam is. AITA for telling my wife it's her job to babysit the kids and leaving the house. I, 35M, have been married to my wife, 32F, for 7 years. We have 2 children together, 6M and 3F. She takes care of house and babysits the kids most of the time because she's a som, but we evenly split chores and childcare on weekends and when I get home from work. My wife is much more social than I am. We moved to her home state from mine because she wanted to be closer to her parents and her childhood friends. Now, she is a lot more social than I am. She goes on 3 to 4 girls' trips a year. I have no issues with that, and I'm happy to babysit the kids full-time in her absence. I'm more of a homebody anyway, so I usually like to just paint in the spare room or play video games every once in a while instead of traveling out of state. I don't really take time off from work unless we do something as a family. For the past 3 to 4 months, I was very busy on a major project at work. I've been working 60-hour weeks, and frankly, I'm exhausted with the stress. So when the project was finally coming to an end, I told my wife I'm taking a day off and I won't be doing any work around the house. Of course, I'd still clean up after myself, but I didn't want to do any chores or childcare on that one day. I told her that 2 weeks in advance and she agreed. I also reminded her 3 days before. However, when that day came, my wife forgot about our agreement. I was in the painting room and my wife interrupted me, telling me she needed me to give our daughter a bath because she spilt milk all over herself and couldn't do it because she had to wash the dishes. It was annoying, but whatever, shit happens. Later on, when I was playing video games, my wife tells me our son needs help for his math homework. I ask her why can't she help him herself. She said it's because she has some work to do. This work was actually her best friend coming over and chatting for an hour. This really pissed me off, so after I helped my son and the best friend left, I told my wife I'm leaving the house for 4 to 5 hours. She asked me where I was going. I told her I'm just going to chill in the park and do whatever. But then she said needs me to help out with the chores and with the kids. I told her that today was my day off from all work including housework, and it's her job to babysit the kids on this day before I left the house. When I came back, she was acting cold and called me an asshole for just abandoning her and the kids. I think she's being dramatic, but when I spoke to my sister, she said parenting is a 24/7 job. So AITA? I feel people are stuck on OP using the word babysit wrongly. If he just used it for himself, that would have been an issue. But he used it for himself and his wife. So I just think of it as a mistake. And not the intended meaning. Having said that, and based on the fact that OP's either working or at home with his family, equally contributing to childcare and chores, and the fact that he let his wife know about his need for a break after a strenuous project and she didn't respect that, despite knowing for weeks, I'm going with OP not being the NTA. Question: how did you two decide on wife being a stay-at-home parent? Question 2: how did you guys decide on the move to wife's state? I'm going to be downvoted to hell, but you all need to hear this. No one can be a parent 24/7. It's just not possible. You do need breaks from time to time. You're only human. You will break before your children do, trust me. This community has unrealistic expectations for parents. He just wanted a day to himself. That's all. He's not evil. He's not lazy. He's not a deadbeat dad. He's just tired. Now, my judgment depends on if you give your wife a day to unwind herself. She also needs days off from being a parent from time to time. If you don't let her, then you're the But if you do have a system, then you're NTA. He literally says she goes on 3 to 4 field trips a year where he is left to watch and take care of the kids by himself. NTA: when a parent leaves the house for a weekend, the other cannot pass off any responsibility. So if the other takes a single day off, they should be afforded the same courtesy. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. If she can get proper time off for herself, why can't I get a day for myself? Am I less deserving? I'm not really sure why people are getting mad about the word babysitting. My wife and I both use that word all the time. It's very common where we're from. Didn't know it was so offensive. A lot of people take offense to it, for people will make comments that moms be lucky that their husband's willing to babysit the kids. That way mom gets a break. However, they don't refer to it as babysitting with the mom. She takes girls' trips, you get to take a day off. Next time book a vacation. NTA. People are so fixated on the word babysit. If you do look after your kids and split chores after work like you said you do, I don't see why you are the for wanting a day off after working 60 hours a week. Your wife gets to go on trips 3 to 4 times a year, then why can't you have one day of doing nothing? Cannot believe people are calling you over wanting a break. Whipped for revealing where my kids' college money came from? Hello. I am a single mother, 43, of 2 kids 18F and 14M. Their fathers are not in the picture. Recently I was contacted by my ex-BIL, 40. He told me that when he was married to my sister, 38, he had started college funds for my kids. They separated, but he still wanted to give the money for my children. It's not full right amount, but it will mean my daughter won't have to work during college unless she wants spending money, and it's more that me or my parents can give her. Obviously, I was overjoyed at this, but I asked him not to tell anyone because my sister has grown quite bitter about their divorce. I'm not really sure what went down, but as far as I know they had separate finances, so I don't think it would be due to money reasons. When I told my family we had received a donation to my daughter's college fund, everyone was overjoyed. But also really suspicious, because there are times in the last few years that money would have really helped. Someone in my family started the joke that I got this from my boss for favors. It's not true, but my sister and brother won't let it go. Let's get takeout tonight. Hey, X, go sleep with your boss and get it. I'm not doing a good job of explaining it, but it's really quite hurtful to have my family saying these things, even as jokes. I'm considering telling them BIL is the one behind it. It will stop them insisting on knowing the source, but it might hurt my sister to know he helped us. I can't really ask people for advice without it leaking out. I have only told one girl from work and she suggested here for some anonymous opinions. NTA for considering it. However, there is nothing to be gained from telling them the source of the funds. Your family will switch from accusing you of sleeping with your boss to sleeping with your ex-BIL, which will be an even more unpleasant situation. Sounds like some distance from your sister and brother are in order until they stop their behavior. And tell them why you are now low/no contact if they ask. I hadn't considered this. Even though it's gross, you're right. If the rumor mill's already started. You could check with BIL if he's okay with you revealing it. You could say nothing and the rumor mill runs wild. Or you could make up your own rumors. Maybe you had a fling with a billionaire, or you invested in crypto, a scratch-off win, you met an old guy at the bar and he left you inheritance rather than his family. Be creative and change the story every time it comes up. Love it. Shigarek. Tell a new story every time, get more and more outlandish with each retelling. NTA. Why the heck would you mention a financial windfall at all? What purpose or benefit does that provide? People need to shut the dollar and zero up about their finances, especially to family. No one in my family knows anything about my bank access, income, or assets, other than a vague notion of the house, but they don't even know what my mortgage payments are. Maybe they had previously discussed how much of a struggle it was going to be to send their kids to school? And then kids going to school and not having to work would be suspicious? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.